When you came back from seeing AJ, you were really excited, and which is really why I went to see him. So,
Hmm.
and that was about a year ago, maybe you were in California.
Yeah, but right about a year ago, maybe a little bit longer, but right about that.
Okay. And what? I mean, do you still? So you came back and used the detour model. Do you still use it or protocol?
I do. The primary thing I use with the DeTUR model is the
Hang on.
positive goal and the kinesthetic link.
Yeah.
And those things I use very regularly with a lot of success.
Okay.
I've also been able to use the whole protocol um, and the desensitizations of triggers and urges with a couple of people that have been binge eating, and there was great success with that. Actually, people I use the entire protocol with binge eating are no longer binge eating.
Okay. Okay. And then are there other things you use it for, or that kind of thing?
Well, even when I deal with most of my population is trauma and anxiety oriented.
Hmm.
And so I use the positive goal a lot for them to imagine how they would like to be if they didn't have anxiety. What would their life be like? What would they be doing? How would they feel in their body? How would they be interacting with other people, their loved ones, the people that they work with? And that's been pretty successful. I think the thing that surprises me the most is how that kinesthetic link, I've tested it in even a year after creating a kinesthetic link, it still works.
Okay. And by that you mean where you touch your
Uh-huh.
finger, or what do you have people do exactly?
Well, sometimes I have them touch their finger, kind of like you did. Sometimes I'll have them, their kinesthetic link is a certain posture. And again, I'm just following AJ's protocol. So
Okay.
I guess the best way to learn that is to go to the workshop.
And
It
AJ was fun, right? You had a good time.
was a lot of
Okay.
fun. And my favorite thing about AJ's workshop is that he asked us to kind of use whatever we learned and experiment with it. I think his statement was make it rubber or something like that. Own it, use it, see what works, try it out, and if it's really successful, to please let him know. And so I really liked his presentation style. I felt free to use it and in, in not really too worried that I was going to mess it up.
So he was really encouraging to try things, to work on them.
Very encouraging.
Okay. Okay. Anything else about the workshop you think that people would be
Yeah,
good
the
for?
other thing that I liked about the his protocols is, when you're doing a positive goal, it's a little different than some of the other EMDR in the sense that, he says accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, and don't mess with Mr. In between. At the same time, when he's doing the positive goal, you're making resourcing statements that you received from the client and you're giving them back to the client.
Hmm.
And I find that I've been able to utilize that in a variety of different settings throughout the EMDR protocol.
So that fits
So
your style too, doesn't it?
it really
I mean,
does.
that fits your
Mm-hmm.
style. So that's good. You use it throughout the EMDR protocol, meaning in other ways.
Right. So, for example, one of the things at another workshop, which is Yuri Bergman's workshop, was to kind of tune into my body, right?
Hmm.
And so, if I'm feeling somewhere tense in my body, I might ask them to breathe. I might throw out the word options. I might throw out the word choices if it's appropriate. So, if a word pops into my mind or I have a sense in my body, I might combine what I learned from Yuri Bergman's workshop with AJ Popky's workshop, and if it feels right in the moment, I might share that word.
Okay.
Does that
Very
make
good.
sense?
Yeah, no, that's great.
Yeah. And I really love how with AJ's workshop, he really focused on observing the client, and if they have like a face, like a smile or something, I'll say go with that. Or if their face shifts to where it's really painful, I'll say something like, go with that. Notice your feet on the floor. Exhale. Whatever feels right with that. So he kind of helped me learn how to tune into the client, turn into myself, and use any kind of affirming or supportive words in the
Hmm.
moment. That makes sense.
So more than just the DeTUR protocol, he
Uh-huh.
helped you kind of rise to another level as a therapist, being more intuitive. Well, him and Yuri.
Yeah, yeah, and even you're safe. I say that. If you're safe, be where you're at, let it go. Whatever's appropriate in the moment.
Did you buy his little wand, the little light stick?
I sure did.
Do you still
I
use it?
did.
Do you use it or no?
I use it in my pencil holder. I haven't pulled it out quite yet.
My battery burned out, so.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I really enjoyed AJ's workshop. It gave me a lot of resources to pull from. Like you mentioned earlier, it kind of brought me to a new and different level within my own EMDR practice, if you will, um, while
Well,
working. Oh, wait, wait.
okay, good.
Go ahead.
And the other thing is, it's a chance to meet with the EMDR masters, right?
It really is. Yeah, I call him the originals. He's like one of the original.
Right.
And it's exciting to meet with them and learn what they've been able to do over the years and incorporate what fits into what's natural for the way I do therapy.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe that
Well,
didn't work out
yeah.
too. It helps me incorporate it into practice. I guess that's a better way to say it.
Yeah, and I didn't realize that when we talked before, so that's, yeah. No, I just think AJ's known Francine for, I think since before EMDR. So,
Hmm.
so it's nice to meet these people that are really on the ground floor.
Yeah, and it really helped because I read about his DeTUR protocol in the EMDR. I believe it's the EMDR Solutions 2 book. And
Probably one.
yeah, and so it's one thing to read it, and then it's another thing to read it and then go to his workshop and get to
Right.
practice during the workshop, which he does a great job, I think, giving us time to practice what we're learning in the workshop. And so it's even more confidence building to come back and put it to use.
Yeah, and he had several volunteers come up, and people felt comfortable with him doing that. That was nice. You know,
During the workshop, absolutely.
yeah, and I think, and they benefited. So there you
Hmm.
go.
Matter of
Okay.
fact, when I did there, my auditory link was yay. And sometimes I still use that every now and then. I'll go yay, and then I feel that same sense of accomplishment, like I could do this. Yeah.
Oh,
So
I
I
see.
use it myself. I use it myself.
Okay. Okay. Well, thanks a lot. It's great.
You're so welcome. Thank you.
All right.